Yeah, she did. It's 5 minutes after 9 o'clock, and that's Thomas Dolby, not related to the other Dolby who just died, the inventor of the Dolby noise reduction system. And Jim George is in the studio right now, and he's here to answer our questions about our TVs, our Wi-Fi. That seems to be the question of the morning so far, and anything associated with the way we entertain ourselves in our homes, in our cars, on our phones, etc. Good morning, Jim. How you doing?
Good morning. Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine. How you doing?
Good, thank you.
Yeah, you have a Wi-Fi question from Galen, I think, already, don't you?
Well, actually, I don't think it was Doug that
Doug had a Wi-Fi question.
Right. He wanted to know if he could do Wi-Fi in his home and how much it cost. And I was explaining to him, you have to have the internet first.
Right.
That's your point of entry into your home, and then you can stream it anywhere in your home wirelessly.
But he's got it made, though. He lives right next to me. He just turns on mine.
Yeah.
There you go, yeah. You can steal internet from him.
Yeah.
That's right. He's stealing
All he needs is a
internet.
password.
And I gave it to him. He's in business.
All right.
Yeah.
And his brother sent him a new Kindle.
Oh, boy.
A nice big Kindle.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
I don't even have a Kindle.
Can you just pull that microphone down a little bit?
I didn't know if I could bend it anymore.
You can. Yeah, now you're nice and clear. There you go.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah, and I was wondering if he'd be able to, because I wasn't sure how far Wi-Fi signals go.
Oh, they go. And there's a little signal meter at the bottom of your laptop, let's say, or your screen that would tell you how much signal level you have.
Yeah. What does it say with your home, Doug? Is it full? I mean, you're right next door. It must not be that bad.
I believe so.
Yeah.
It's just like about minimum.
The minimum. It's pretty good, but it's minimum.
Could be in the middle.
Do you know,
Middle of them.
the question I have actually about Wi-Fi is, do some routers work better than others? Like, can I actually go to, who do I have, Cox?
Yes, you do.
Can I actually ask them for a better router?
Are they not only your internet provider, but your wireless provider also?
Yes.
They are.
Yeah.
You could probably save a little bit of money by buying your own wireless router.
Really?
And only letting them be your internet provider.
Oh.
And then you can get wireless routers today that they used to be like 50 megabit connectivity, then 100 megabit connectivity, then 300 now you can get them 1 gig connectivity. And that's how fast you can go from your laptop to the device. And then, of course, if you only pay for 5 meg out to the real world, then that's the speed at which you can go out to the real world.
Gotcha.
But they go further distance. If you were to upgrade to like a Belkin, you can buy them at
Where do you
Best
get
Buy.
that? Oh, Best Buy.
Best
Okay.
Buy, yeah.
Really?
Or Staples sells them. They're like $39. You can probably go a good 100 feet.
So wait a minute. Would my bill be cheaper? My monthly bill?
Yes, if you're renting the wireless router as compared to a normal router, you may save as much as $5 a month.
And have a better router.
Have a better router, yeah.
Wow. Did you know that, Galen?
Yes, I did that. I tried the Cox, and
He's
I'm like,
techie.
I went and bought my own. But mine is old, and I think mine's like 300 bit.
Yeah, megabits.
But the question I have is, what's the difference between dual band and single band, and which one should you get?
Dual band means it operates on 2.4 gig as well as 5.8 gig. And the purpose is, if you have a cellular phone in your house, not a cell phone, but like a Uniden, hands-free phone.
A cordless.
That operates on 2.4.
Okay.
So if some family members were on the phone and you were trying to do the wireless internet, you would see that you were a little slower.
That makes sense.
But what you could do is you could use the 5.8 frequency, which no one's using, even though it's free, in the sense that it's an open architecture. And then everybody else could use 2.4.
So that's when literally in my house, the phone will ring and my signal will drop.
Exactly.
And I just realized the connection there.
So why
I didn't know that. That's all. That's
they should
interesting.
tell you that in the packaging. They should.
Well, would you read it?
No. Somebody would, and they tell me.
No, I don't read packaging.
Maybe you're right. Maybe.
But I know and so that's interesting. And then, so because I currently the one I have is like 7 or 8 years old. Would I see a noticeable difference if I even if I went with a 300? Because I think a gigabyte one is about $80.
Yeah, no, even with the Belkin, which is like $39, which is the 300 megabit per second, you can get those single band 2.4, and when the phone rings, you won't notice anything.
Wow.
Because
all right.
Yeah.
Really?
But if you get a dual band, then you'll really be screaming. And they're only like maybe another $20. So let's say $59.
I'm glad I'm recording this. I'll never remember all this.
Well, there's 4 people in the house, everybody's got their tablet or their phone or their laptop or
Right,
a computer,
right,
or the games. PS3 runs off of it. So
does the individual user see a slowdown when other people start using the Wi-Fi?
Well, theoretically they shouldn't, but if you have, like, he's got his kids using it, the Kindle's using it, the cell phone's on it. One of these days he'll have his refrigerator on it. When he opens it will say you're low on eggs.
it's true, yeah.
So if you get a dual band, one of the good features of a dual band is, like, he could put a virtual private network, in other words, a password, on the 5.8, but leave the 2.4 open. So any guest, anybody, but there's nothing on that but just normal usage. But on the 5.8, he could have it hooked to his home. He could have it hooked to his home computer, and no one could steal anything from him because not everybody has a 5.8 capability or even knows there's a 5.8 out there.
Till now.
And he could have a password on it.
Now that you told everybody, now
and have a virtual private network.
I've heard that. I mean, I've heard about the, and that's one of the scary things about Wi-Fi is that if it's not password protected, everything that's in your computer, everything that's in your tablet or your phone is exposed.
Exactly.
You know what I don't understand about the Wi-Fi thing? Right now, my name is 0000000 because
that's something, Larry.
I did I did something.
So what do you just call yourself Odd 8?
Yeah,
something like that?
Oddity. So I asked the Cox guys, how do I make it like a fancy name? Like, how do I come up with a cool, clever, like I see other ones, like, Big Pig Me is in my neighborhood,
Yeah.
and Loose Lisa is in my neighborhood. I see all these other Wi-Fi. I don't know what they are.
How's Lisa?
I've been looking for her. I don't know who she is, but she's loose.
Really? It's called Loose Lisa.
I promise you. Yeah. And anyway, so
Hey, Loose, I'm trying to hack you.
so he says it's very difficult to do it. Just leave it with the 6 zeros. How difficult could
not
it be?
that
No,
hard.
it's not difficult.
If
Go into the
Lisa
account
could do
name.
it.
You just go into the account name. But if you really shouldn't be renting a router. You really shouldn't be renting a router.
But I need the same device, don't I, to bring in? No?
You can go buy one.
All you need is the internet connection, which
Okay.
would be the modem that would
So I
convert
gotta
the
change that
coax
then.
over to Cat5.
All you do is you already have your modem coming in from Cox. You just plug the
So
Ethernet into your Wi-Fi and you're
Got
done.
it. I understand this. But why did you... Let me tell you what I don't like about mine.
Okay.
It'll shut off. Like, all of a sudden, they'll say, no Wi-Fi. And I say, how is it no? I just turned it on. Right? Now, I have the Ethernet wire onto my actual desktop because it never goes down because I have the wire. But as far as the wireless on the wireless devices, like,
Well,
speaking of wireless devices,
that's me. That's sorry about that. I did
That's okay.
take care of it soon enough.
but anyway, so the wireless devices sometimes will just stop. Then I got to go reboot
Yeah.
the whole thing.
Yeah, no, you want to get rid of that as soon as possible.
That's a router. That's a router problem.
Is that what you were having to? The same problem?
No. Mine, the signal will just go down. So it won't turn off. You'll just see that you could see the signal on the device as you was
Right.
talking about that meter. And you could see it goes from full to nothing. And I'm like, why? I just put 2 and 2 together. It's because the phone rings.
So go to Best Buy and get a routing.
Yeah, or Staples. Actually, Staples. Everybody sells them about the
5.8.
same price, and of
eBay.
How much? How much do they go for?
$39
Oh, my
for a
gosh.
Belkin, and maybe and there are other ones besides Belkin, but Belkin sets up so easy. I mean, the idea is you want to buy something like you can get a D-Link.
That's what I have.
A Linksys.
Yeah.
But if you get a Belkin, they literally walk you through how to put your own name on it. So your
Oh, really?
So your wireless router, it's called Big Larry.
Yeah. And then Loose Lisa might see my name.
Yeah.
Hey, Big Larry.
Hey.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, why don't we combine our gigabytes here?
So is the Belkin the dual one or the single one?
The price at $39 would be for the single one, but they do sell the dual
The
ones.
dual,
but-
which would be better, because then Larry can have his own private network, and then if he wants to share with Doug, he can give him the 2 point something,
If.
and then
Right.
Larry
If.
gets the 5 point something. Then.
Yeah, the 2.4 and the
Okay.
5.8.
Okay.
If he wants to share.
He's so close that when it goes down, he'll call me on his phone. And I actually hear him on his porch first.
Yeah.
Hey, Larry? Hey, Larry? Yeah, hey, Doug. Hey, Doug.
I'm down.
Yeah.
That shouldn't happen.
Well, that's cool.
Because your internet connection is very consistent from Cox. I mean,
Yes, seems like it,
Yeah, it's just your router.
All right, well, that's good news. Now, this is what you do, though, Jim, isn't it, with American Cable Services?
Right.
So are you actually giving us advice that takes away business from you?
No, not really. Well, on those type of things, going to a person's home and installing a wireless router, that's more of a pain than it is a gain. Yeah.
He doesn't want to come in and see your stuff.
No.
I mean, it's so simple that you almost feel guilty about charging someone a fee. The biggest fee is the travel fee.
I'll bet, yeah.
I mean, just to leave the office and get in the vehicle and drive 1 mile is $65 because you've got to make sure you have everything with you. You realize if you forget one thing, you have to go all the way back to the office again.
Right.
And been there and done that. So what we do is walk them through it. We tell them where to buy it. They go buy it, and they say, "Okay, I got it, and it's in the box now." Okay, have you opened it up? No. Well, after you open it up and after you read it, call me if you have a problem. And I'm getting people calling me that are in their late 80s and said, "Oh, it was a piece of cake. You plugged it in, it came up. They asked me if I wanted the password. I said yes. They asked me the password. They asked me if I wanted the name of the device. I said yes. They asked me the name of the device, and we're done." I said, "Yep, you're done."
Wow.
That's cool. So if I get one of these routers, right, and I do not do anything with Cox other than tell them I want them to take it off, do I keep the same box I'm using right now?
You'll keep the same modem. I don't know if it's an all-in-one device.
It is. It's all-in-one.
They'll just change the modem out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'll do that.
Now, they might want to convince you that they will replace the modem for a faster and better wireless one.
You still want to buy it.
But you don't trust that.
Well, you want to own your own.
You don't want to pay rent.
I never knew this. I didn't even know you could do this.
Yeah, I only found that out because I talked to Cox because I wanted a Wi-Fi router about 6-7 years ago, and they're like, "Oh, we have them," and I'm like, "How much?"
Because
It's crazy.
You go downtown Ocala. They have this Wi-Fi service.
Sure.
Have you ever tried this Wi-Fi service?
I have not.
Do you know you pay for it?
Yeah, I thought it was free, but you pay for it.
Oh yeah, it's like $9 or it's a daily fee.
$2.50 for 24 hours.
Yeah.
10 minutes is for free.
Right.
Now I don't know if that's the first 10 minutes and that's it, or every day can I go for 10 minutes?
And something like that, I don't think that's a bad idea.
No, I'm not complaining
it's
about
like, some hotels have the Wi-Fi included, some don't.
What I don't understand, you go to a restaurant and it says Wi-Fi, right?
Right.
And then you have to have their code. So you got to get the waitress. What's the code?
Yeah.
It's not working today.
Depends on
right.
where you're going. There are times when you especially if you're traveling and you really need Wi-Fi, it's huge.
Could you get
really
Wi-Fi
is
from a
huge.
neighboring car? Like, could you hey, this guy's got one. Could I tap into somebody else?
When you go into a hotel and you do the wireless, a lot of times you will see other people's devices. They didn't realize they had it switched on, and so you can use their cell phone speed. So you're actually on your laptop talking to their cell phone, and their cell phone's on the wireless.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I could turn my phone into a Wi-Fi hotspot in like 30 seconds.
Oh, you can.
That's what my brother does. My brother Bill, he's got that.
We do it when I do it when I'm like on the road and I'm traveling and I need to use my laptop in order to get on the web. Yeah, I'll do it
All right, we do have a phone call. By the way, I should have mentioned that the phone calls are welcome and invited. The number is 622-WOCA. That's the WOCA Climate Control Source Hotline. Your host is Jim George, even though I think we're doing more talking today than usual.
What do you usually do? Just look at each other? I mean, you don't...
No, I mean, he usually does more than something.
I got you.
You and I are doing it. Good morning. You're on the air with Jim George.
Good morning, Jim. This is Lauren.
Yes.
Wow, it's a full house there this morning with you. You got a crowd around you.
Oh, yes.
So, Jim, what I have is a wireless compass that I use on my laptop. So I don't have any of these services that run into the house. That way, because personally, I don't want to use Wi-Fi. And when I'm out of the area, I'm just able to take my laptop and my wireless compass. I won't name the company, but I'm sure they all have one. So I want your opinion on that, and if there's any other way I can do it so I can travel around and not, be beholden to a company that runs into my house.
Wow, never heard of that before.
No, I think so is this Compass an application that is on your laptop, or is it a separate device?
It's a separate device. It's a hardware piece. It's a Sierra Wireless from, can I name the company?
Okay, and does it plug into the phone?
No, my laptop.
All right, so you're...
My PC.
Okay, but, well, it must be cellular. That's the only.
Oh, definitely.
Yes, so it's a wireless cellular device that, yes, you can get those. Everybody sells them, Verizon, everybody. You plug them in, it's like a little dongle. They don't want us to use the word dongle anymore. They've changed it.
Yeah.
Oh.
But you plug it into the laptop, and that is a cell phone device that talks to the cell towers.
Exactly, and it depends on what area you're in as far as the strength. But this is what I use in my house. It's what I use wherever I go, state to state, whatever. And
what is the charge per month on that device?
I was just going to say to you. So for me, at about $50 a month, it's very helpful. But I'm just wondering, compared to other things I could do, is that ridiculous?
Let me ask a quick question. Is there a reason why you don't trust Wi-Fi?
Yeah, I think you've already mentioned it.
Just because it's a security issue? There are programs that you can buy, and I know you could talk about this, Jim, that you can buy that protect you from other outside Wi-Fi tapping into. It's just a simple security program. But if you're willing to pay that $50, that's the most secure thing you can do, because that way you're isolated on your network.
Right. Now, is there anything out there that'll protect us from the NSA?
Not if you're a member of the Tea Party.
Or any party. But
there you go, yeah.
But mostly if you're a conservative, you're absolutely correct.
Well, if you weren't identified before by the NSA, you are now.
It was just, I thought, a generic kind of question. I didn't identify myself or anything else, but I guess I don't have to. They know everything about everybody.
If you are on Google, they know everything.
Yeah. So, Jim, being with that, I have this device for about $50 a month. What is your professional opinion on that?
No, I would definitely keep it, because it's the equivalent to what Galen was saying. He turns his cell phone on. He maybe sets it on the dash or on his front seat, and he uses it as a Wi-Fi hotspot. And then he can open up his laptop, and he can talk through it. The dongle is just a plug-in cell phone. Basically, it's plugging into your laptop, and you're using it to connect to the cell tower. And do you have that as a separate charge other than your cell phone?
I do.
Well, you could save money. You could save money by just having a smartphone. And you can still do the same $50, $60. What do you pay, Galen, a month for yourself?
It's about $60.
Yeah, about $60. And now you have a cell phone that's unlimited time, and you also have the capability of talking to it to your laptop. You have the best of both worlds.
Yeah, if you're gonna, and they used to call it an air card.
Yeah.
I don't know what they call it now. She said compass, but those are great if you have multiple people in an area, and you want to use it for multiple people. But wherever you have cell phone service, you can turn on your.
I don't have multiple people. Do they have multiple poodles?
Now, the one thing, I don't know if they have increased capacity on the air card versus the phone.
Oh, yeah, 4G now. Yeah.
Yeah. I have 4G on my phone, so I don't know if it's faster with the compass.
Yeah. Now, actually, that is the problem I've been having, because my compass right now is still 3G.
Oh.
And they're upgrading to the 4G.
How dare you have 3G?
No, I would.
Yeah,
if it's a separate monthly fee, and you own the compass, but you're paying for the service, I would probably cancel, get a smart cell phone that's 4G, and turn it into a hotspot. And therefore, even if the phone rang, you could talk, on the cell phone and still be surfing the internet.
Yeah.
And that is, I still have one of those antiquated cell phones.
Yeah, no, you got to get up to
I have fought getting a smartphone, So this, that would be a big step for me. But, that's...
There's a new thing out there, and it's meant to serve people that don't necessarily want a smartphone, but they want the functions of a smartphone. So there are new phones that are like the old flip phones, but they have all the internal workings of a smartphone, so that you can do your Wi-Fi hotspots, you could do internet browsing. So if you look, they're there. So
And what is that called? A kind of smartphone?
I don't know what it's called, but I've seen them. But if you spend 10 minutes with a smartphone, you'll realize, wow, I've been living in the dark ages a very, very long time. I got one from my mother, and she goes, "This phone is so easy." I'm like, "Yeah, your other phone was harder to use than this one."
So I'm in the same place where Lauren is. I've got a track phone, and
Go to the Best Buy right out here and go play with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I have to admit, I kind of like living in the dark ages. And
Well, my employee's got a
Most days-
smartphone, and as we travel down the road, he's got applications on it, and he's always showing me the apps. One of the apps is he can punch in gas prices, and then he punches in GPS. It knows exactly where he is. It knows every exit we're coming up to, and it'll tell him every gas station.
That's amazing.
And every price of the gas station. It's okay, if you can make it 2 more exits, Jim, there's a racetrack up the road. It's got us. Unbelievable.
That's crazy.
If we want to go eat and he wants to go to Golden Corral, he'll type in, and it'll say exit 354, turn right. But unbelievable.
Good Lord.
But he lives on his cell phone. I do not live on my cell phone.
There's certain apps that you find, you're like, I don't know how my life was before. Like the radar app. I probably use my radar app 2 or 3 times a day.
What do you use it for?
Just to find out what the weather's doing and to see where the storm cloud is and when it's going to leave. Because in my business, the weather is the biggest factor of what we collect is all based on weather. And because of my phone, I can get everything from school closings to tornado warnings and all throughout the Southeast. And I'm not in the office right now, but I can look at every email over my phone.
Is this where TV's going? I mean, is TV so soon going to be totally, absolutely wireless?
It's going to be wireless.
Like it used to be?
It already is. It already is.
Back to the future.
May I interrupt?
Sure.
Yes.
It's your show.
Okay, so here's my personal opinion. With everything being wireless, there it is. We're putting all our eggs in one basket, and God forbid something hits and something goes out, and we're all knocked out. And personally, I want to take I think they should be offering Morse code. I think they should be offering ham radio out there because, again, if wireless goes down, even if it's for a couple of hours, I mean, we're all at a complete and utter loss.
Well, they still have the ham radios and the Morse codes out there, so you're safe. But every cell tower.
But how many people know them? Know those?
Every cell tower is not only connected to itself wirelessly, but it has what we call a fiber optic backbone, and it's connected hardwire also. And so if one cell tower goes. Well, the fiber optics, right. That would be the hard line that connects every cell tower to itself and to the main internet. So there's double security, and every cell tower has its own generator. So if the power goes out in this area, the cell phones will stay on.
Really?
Yeah.
Or you could do this. Every time you see somebody with a pocket protector, get his business card, because you might need to go, because that's the guy that has the ham radio.
That is exactly the guy who has the ham radio. I will tell you this, that when we've had these natural and man-made tragedies over the last 5 or 6 years, there hasn't been an issue with our infrastructure on our communication going down. What's happened is our communication infrastructure has been overloaded. And Jim, I know you could talk more about that. And that's been the issue. During 9/11, it wasn't that the phone lines were down, it was that they were overwhelmed.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Makes sense, yeah.
And they changed the frequencies now.
Sure did.
The FCC decided that, okay, those frequencies, we're going to have to make TV stations give up frequencies so we can use them for emergencies.
Sure. Well, listen, thank you
All right,
so
you're
much
welcome.
for your knowledge and expertise, Jim, and I will do some...
But take Galen's advice. Go buy Best Buy and play with it. It doesn't hurt anything. And go buy AT&T and play with it. Only thing is, just be careful what plan you get on, because
It's like buying a car. When you buy a smartphone, it's like buying a car. They're going to try to sell you every upgrade in America. So be smart.
In other words, that means rent a mail, right? So whenever a woman goes to look for a car, never mind. I won't even.
It better be either. It better be either Jim or Galen. Don't rent me.
Just do your homework.
I won't know.
Do your homework.
Yeah, call Jim.
I'll bring all of you. I'll bring my team with me. All
right, you got it.
Have a budget and stay on budget.
Thank you, Lauren.
All
All right, thank
Bye.
you. Bye-bye.
All right, Jim. How do we get a hold of you and ask more questions?
Certainly. It's in Ocala, 854-9795.
All right, and if you missed some of that good information, we've recorded it and we'll put it up on Facebook and YouTube later on. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Galen.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
That was a good segment. We'll
That's
take
a
a
great
break.
tip on the phone.
We'll be right back.
That made my day right there.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.